What does high score mean? New high score, is that bad? What does that mean? Did I break it?
Hello everyone, and welcome to Veteran Gaming Raid Shadow Legends. I am Aaron, and welcome to the second installment of my complete beginner's guide for Raid Shadow Legends. Just a reminder, if you haven't already downloaded Raid, make sure you're checking out the QR code on the screen or clicking the links down below. That way you get some free goodies when you start out, and make sure you check out Chapter 1 of the complete beginner's guide. There's got some helpful information in there for you. Alright, so in Chapter 1, we talked about heroes and basically the hero screen and try to understand what all is going on. Today we're going to go a little bit more in depth and talk about how to level up heroes and the different ways that you can level up heroes, because there are multiple different ways, because as you can see here on the screen, we got different numbers, we got different symbols, we got different stars, we got different color stars, and all of that really matters. So we're going to talk about each and every single portion of that hero to make sure you're getting the most out of every character on your account. So we talked about getting heroes in the first one, so now we have our heroes, right? The next decision is which heroes to level. And we talked about some tips to read the skills for individual heroes. Let's get back to this screen. So here are our skills. Okay, I can start to read these and start to figure out what is good and what isn't quite as helpful the more I play the game. But you're a beginner, which is why you're watching this video. You just want to fast track that, because it takes a long time to sort through hundreds of heroes' abilities to try to figure out which ones are good and which ones are bad. So what I recommend to begin with is checking out a professional's advice. Never hurts to rely on somebody else that really knows what they're talking about. And I have two lists here, the Hell Hades Gaming and the Iomi Love. Am I saying that? Yeah, Iomi Love. They both give lists right here, and let's zoom in a little bit. So here you go, legendary champion rankings, and it's going to go down S rank, A rank, B rank. We'll zoom out a little bit, and C rank, etc. And then it goes on down to rare. And on this website, you can even just click over here onto the side, and it's going to tell you this side. It's going to tell you which heroes do certain buffs, certain auras, which heroes are better in certain arenas like dungeons, doom towers, potion grinding, clan boss, all that kind of stuff. So pretty helpful. You can do all of that through Hell Hades' site. Also, he puts together a great site, and he has these filters right here you can click on. Zoom in a little bit on that. And you can do basically the same thing. How good are they in clan boss, Hydra, Ice Golem, Frost Spider, all that good stuff. And you can sort by rare, epic, legendary. They're both very good resources. They're going to give you a good idea on which ones to focus on first, because there are hundreds of heroes and it's just too hard to keep them all straight. So you can see here, Cold Heart, one of the best overall rares. He's really, really good, whereas if you pull a Fleshmonger down here, you're like, nah, all right. He might sit on the shelf for a little bit if I decide to put work into him at all. So the first and most important thing to getting a hero stronger is to get them up to level 60, which is the max level here. As you can see, I got some 60s, some 50s, some 40s, a couple of 30s, but that's it. There's a 26 here, but that's because he's in the process of leveling. In general, you want to keep them to 60s and probably 50s if you're going to put any effort into them whatsoever. All of these 40s, I will probably try to get up to 50 whenever I have time for it. But I have a higher priority right now getting these 50s up to 60s, because that is the top level they can be. That is where they are the most effective and where you're going to get the most use out of them throughout the game. So really want to focus on getting heroes to 60. How do you get heroes to 60? Quickly, efficiently, effectively, all that good stuff. The first thing you're going to want to do is to level your food champions. And food champions are anybody that you're going to feed to make another champion stronger. You're not actually going to level that champion. So I just pulled 10 here. What you're going to do is you're going to go into your tavern, upgrade level. You're going to click this little symbol right here, which will just flip them. So the most powerful are on the bottom and the weakest are on the top. Now we want to turn these rank 1 star, which is where all commons come in. These 1 stars, we want to turn them into 2 stars before we start any kind of leveling process. So we're going to click on our troglodyte here, and then you see we have these brews. We're going to click 1 brew, and then we're going to click 3 other 1-star champions. That will take it up to level 10, which is the max level for a 1-star hero. After we get that, then we're going to go ahead and upgrade. Now he's a level 10 1-star hero. Then you go to upgrade rank, and once my quests get out of the way, you're just going to click any of these other food champions. This is going to destroy that food champion, but it's going to take your troglodyte up to a 2-star. Now, that 2-star hero can become a level 20. As you see right here, this Incubus, an uncommon hero, is level 20. Now, if I feed him 2-star champions, now he becomes a 3-star hero, and so on and so forth, until you get all the way up. You see, here's a 4 that can go up, but I only have 2 champions that are food ready. I don't have 2 more. So for each star level, you need another food champion, and you'll do that all the way up until you can get them to level 60. And that is the quickest and most efficient way to get heroes leveled. You start with that process. You get the brew, 3 food champions, and get them up to level, or a 2-star hero. Then you're going to go into 12-3 brutal, and then you're going to go ahead and start farming them. You're going to have 1 farming champion, and you're going to have 3 heroes that you're leveling. And Kale, this is one of the reasons why Kale is the best starter, because he can knock out this this 12-3 brutal pretty quickly and easily, which is great. And this is, you're just going to run this so many times. And the reason 12-3 brutal difficulty is the best is because typically you're going to get the best money for selling the shields. And 12-3 is the one where you get a shield, so you're getting the best silver value. You're also getting the best experience level per energy spent, because energy efficiency is really key to this game. So for 8 energy, with the raid card here and the XP boost, you're going to get like 10,000 experience per food champion, which is really nice. If you do this with fewer champions, like if you only do Kale and 1 other, that second one is going to get more experience, because it's just an overall experience pool that's then split into how many pieces. But because it's split into 2 pieces equally, Kale will waste more. This is the most efficient way. Kale is wasting the least amount of experience, and the rest is going into these. That's why ideally you want 1 farming champion and 3 food champions that you're leveling up. And that is going to be, you're just going to do that eternally. That is going to be how you're going to get heroes all the way up from 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, whatever they start at, all the way up to 6-star, which is where they are the most powerful, and which is really where you need them if you're going to put any resources into them. Every hero here that I've taken to 50, other than probably Soulbond Boyer, is going to go up to level 60. If you have a rare or epic champion that's not quite as solid, 50 may be as far as you want to take them. Like, where's that dog? Yeah, Terror Beast here. I'm not entirely sure how far I'm going to take Terror Beast up. 50 is probably going to be the tops for him, even though he is an epic. Or Cormac here. Cormac isn't rated very highly either, so we'll kind of see how that plays out. But you want to take your most important champions, your true game changers, your legendaries, your highly rated epics, anybody used for clan boss, like my Frozen Banshee here, where'd she go? Is not that highly rated of a rare hero, but she's a poison master in clan boss. And clan boss is so important, so that's why she is up at level 60 there. And she has all of her Ascension stars, which is what we're going to talk about next. As you can see here on some of the heroes, let's just pull up Rathalos Blademaster. Rathalos Blademaster up here at the very top has 6 stars, because he is level 60, and he has 4 of them that are still pink, and then 2 red. Those are, the pink ones are for Ascension levels. So if we show Lochwain here, Lochwain has ascended 2 times out of a possible 5. Once he's level 60, then it's out of a possible 6. And the way you get those Ascension is if you click here in the tavern, you go here to this Ascend tab right behind my head, and it's going to bring up these resources to ascend the hero. And every time you ascend them another star, it becomes more expensive from these potions. And it also gives them, your hero, more power. And then I think typically at the 3rd star here, as you can see Lochwain, the next time I ascend him, he's going to get a bonus to one of his skills. So not only are they getting more powerful because it's increasing your base stats every time you ascend them, but when you get that 3rd Ascension star, usually you're going to get some kind of gain to a skill or an ability, which is really nice too. So the ascending is really important. And then to get them even more powerful, to get these red stars, like War Maiden here has 3, those are going to come from your soul stones. Your mortal soul stones pull some of the weaker soul stones. Immortal, stronger, and eternal, even strongest, obviously. You can see the numbers right next to them. Once you pull those soul stones, you're going to go into your Awaken tab here, and it's going to tell you what soul stones you have, right? So here's my current collection of soul stones. These are heroes that I can put a soul stone into to make them more powerful. Like this one right here is a massive soul stone. It's 6 stars for this legendary hero. I don't have that legendary hero, legendary hero, which is a big time bummer, but if I ever pull him, that is an instant and massive boost that I cannot wait to get. So I got, one for Rector Drath here. I got some good ones and I got some bad ones. You can sell these and then turn them into currency so that you can buy some more of these. You can also buy straight up using some of your currency. These and these change for the heroes. So you can buy these. But the really important thing you're going to get from those stars not only is a power boost, but you're going to get these blessings. And these blessings, as you can see here, are just passive abilities that are pretty sweet. And they fall under different categories. And you can actually change them, I think, one time without paying anything. So if I go right here. So right now he has Soul Reap. But if I want to go to Faultless Defense and I go choose, it says, you want to do that? Sure, you can do it. But in the future here, it's going to start requiring gems. So the good news is, if you didn't look it up, if you didn't have any experience, and you just clicked one because you didn't really know what you're doing, you can change it. And then you even can change it again down the road if necessary. But just know that it is going to cost gems. So you're going to get your Ascension stars up first because you cannot put in a soul stone that isn't an ascended hero, which I'll give you a demonstration of real quick. If I go in here to Awaken Odaki, I have stars for him, but I can't put them in because he isn't ascended. And that's what this is telling you right here. Has to be ascended to get those stars in there. So you want to ascend them, and then you want to get the soul stone in there. You're going to get not only the ascension bonuses for base stats and for possibly a new skill, but then you're going to be able to put the soul stone in them, which further increases their power. So there you go. That is the level 60 and the stars and all the pretty colors up top. So that will cover how to level them up, the Ascension and the Soul Stone. The last thing I want to dive into here, just because artifacts I'm going to cover in their own video. It's too extensive, the information there, so they're going to get their own video. So check out my gear video. Check out my gear video coming in the future at some point. All right, so we got skills here. Skills are upgraded in the tavern here. If you go to upgrade skills, pretty self-explanatory, and then you're going to use these books. There are legendary, epic, and rare skill books. You can put a legendary into an epic or rare hero, but never, ever, ever do this. That is a massive waste. They're incredibly hard to come by. You need to save them for your legendary heroes. Legendary books only go with legendaries. Epic books only go with epics. Rare books only go with rares. Please, please, please stick to that. That's just, you don't want to throw in a high book into a low character. Just please don't do that. But you're going to get points during tournaments, events, clan versus clan. So I typically save all of my books until an event is open, and then I'll throw the books in. Because while they do increase skills, which is very nice, most of the time they're not going to make such an impact that I'm like, God, I wish I would have done that 2 weeks earlier. Wait for an event, tournament, or clan versus clan, get those points. So there you go. There's your skills. Everything on the skills is pretty self-explanatory. When you leveling them up, it's going to give you exactly the percentage or the cooldown, or it's going to tell you exactly what's going to change. The only thing I do want to mention on that real quickly is, again, when I put this book in, I do not get to pick where I put it. Otherwise, everybody would just mostly level out their A2 and A3 and leave their A1 alone. But you don't get to pick. So sometimes you get really, really lucky and you maximize those skills you need first, and sometimes you just don't. Hell Hades actually has a pretty cool little portion of his page here. It actually right here, book value, kind of in the center of the page. Bad weatherman, I can't get to it. There it is. All right, 10 out of 10. So that means she deserves all of her books. Don't hesitate to put them in. But if you come into some other heroes here, like Bellower. Let's check on Bellower. He's a 10 of 10. I kind of got a feeling all of the rares are going to be 10 of 10 just because rare books are easy. Yeah, when you get to epic and legendary heroes, it's going to start telling you Don't put in all of the books if you can get away with it. Just click on specific abilities like, let's see, where's my Ultimate Death Knight? Yeah, so here, I'm done booking him, and I'm never going to do this one because I finally got his other 2 abilities maxed out. So I'm never ever going to put a book into him just for that last 10% of a buff. I don't care that much. It's going to be much more efficient for me to put it into a different hero. So there we go. Don't always necessarily book out all of your heroes, but make sure you get books into him. It can really, really, really change how the hero works and their effectiveness overall. All right. Last portion here, the masteries. Masteries work on these scrolls. And as you can see here, they're set up into 3 different areas. And you get scrolls. I'll show you real quickly here in the dungeon and the Minotaur. This is the only place to get scrolls. As you see here, the base levels, you get only the smallest. Then you get smallest or mid-tier. And then you get small, mid, or top tier. And the numbers change. It's really nice to get a hero that can essentially solo this. That way you're farming a lot of those very quickly. But if you can't, you actually can buy them. And I recommend, it's what everybody recommends for the first hero, right? For Kale, as soon as you get 800 gems, which should be fairly quickly, you can actually buy out. See, if you go here to get all scrolls, you can actually buy out for 800 gems their entire trees. And I'm stunned on my account that I haven't done that. I must have got good enough gear early that I could farm him and it was no big deal. But most of your starter champions, like it was the first thing I did with all of my legendaries. I went to my masteries, paid 800 gems just to fill out their trees, because these masteries are passive abilities. You get them all the time for no extra resources, and they can massively, massively change the effectiveness of your hero, just like ascending and soulstones and all that stuff. And once you get into your mastery tree, you're only able to activate 2 out of the 3 trees. I cannot put points into support once I put any into offense or defense. So if you really want a good way to do the trees, I highly recommend, again, using your professional resource, one of the pages. They both have this. And Hell Hades actually does a pretty good job here of, you can change it like, okay, consistent nuke masteries or boss killer or helm smasher, different ways of doing Cold Heart, and it's going to show you exactly what abilities to put into them. And it even says here for PvP, it's not a recommended hero for PvP. Really good at PvE content, not good at PvP content. So there is your mastery tree. Simplify it, guys. There's a lot of information here. If you have a good resource, don't hesitate to use it. But these are all really good passive abilities that you're going to gain just from getting your mastery tree completed. There we go. That is what we are going to talk about for upgrading, leveling heroes, and how to set your priorities. So make sure you guys are getting them to level 60 for the ones you want to invest in. Get those ascensions. Soulstones are going to be a bit touchy because you have to rely on luck to get them. You're not going to get the ones you want unless you can somehow purchase them directly from the store or win it in a tournament or event. So those are going to be a lot more touch and go. The only thing you have to worry about for RNG on Ascension is which potions you're going to get from the dungeons. Sometimes you're going to get the highest level, the mid, the low. If you're getting only the low, you have to work your way up to the high. So it can be kind of frustrating. It can be RNG because if you need that top tier and you're just getting the lowest ones, then you just got to keep going. It's going to take you a lot more effort. You'll always get it done, but it's going to take you a lot more effort and energy. Whereas Soulstones are kind of like pulling heroes. There's a couple of things you can do to put the odds in your favor, but in general, this is a totally random pull, so you're going to have to get lucky. So make sure you're not wasting those Soulstones. Don't sell a soul just because you don't have that hero currently. Please, 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 especially if it's a big one. Make sure you're holding on to the souls, because essentially you're going to want those heroes down the road, and you don't want to rely on luck to get those Soulstone pulls again. So there you go. That's what you need to know about Soulstones. Other than that, I think we have covered all of our bases. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, make sure you put them in the comments section down below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can, I promise. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss upcoming content. And as always, have fun, good luck.
So I got that going for me, which is nice.